Welcome to the AVP League, beach volleyball's newest set. 8 teams, 4 players per team, 2 women and 2 men. Taylor Sander, Kristen Nuss, Miles Partain, Sarah Hughes, the best in America battle on the beach. Today it's the hometown Austin Aces up against the Palm Beach Passion. It's time to serve it up. We welcome you to Austin, the capital of Texas and the live music capital of the world. But this weekend, it is the AVP League taking over. 3 weeks are in the books. This is week number 4 as we take a look at the AVP League standing so far. It's the New York Nitro at 7-1 with a surmountable lead after a few weeks, and they'll be looking to get to the final, but the other teams battling, especially tonight. The Austin Aces really trying to improve their league standings. Remember, there's only 4 teams that make it to the league finals. Dane Blanton alongside Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn, and this new format is absolutely fantastic. What are the players loving about it, and what are the fans loving as well?
Well, they love the fast-paced action, right? We started in Los Angeles. We've kind of moved our way across the country right here in the middle now, and it's been kind of a groundswell, right? We started a little bit slowly in Los Angeles, been building ever since last week in San Diego. Huge crowd. We got that top tier in Austin this week. Fans are ready to kill it. The players are ready to go. It's awesome.
Well, I think what we've done is trimmed out all the fat. This is just lightning round. It's quick. It's to 15. As we take a look at the format, it's best of 3. It's all sets to 15. Let's hear who is on center court. Let's go to Mark Sherman.
Let's meet the players for our final match of the night. First, for the visiting Palm Beach Passion, they are the Olympic silver medalists, everybody. First up, the defender, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall out of York University, it's Melissa Humana-Paredes. And her partner, the 5'11" blocker, also out of York University, wearing the number 2, Brandie Wilkerson. And their opponents, your Austin Aces, wearing the number 1, standing 5'6" tall out of LSU, it's Kristen Nuss. And her partner, the blocker, standing 6'4", wearing the number 2, out of LSU, it's Taryn, Kloth.
All players are set to go. They will shake hands, showing some sportsmanship at the beginning, and then the fireworks will begin. Wow, what the experience is on that court. Both teams competing in the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. The team on your left represented Canada, brought home the silver medal. Team on the right, Kloth and Nuss, they finished in 9th place. This will be a battle of epic proportions, Rich Lamborn. What should we look for off the top?
Well, we should look for a lot of blocking, a lot of defense. We've got 2 of the best in both of those categories in this match. Kristen Nuss going to touch everything. Melissa Humana-Paredes going to touch everything. That is, of course, everything that their big blockers in front of them don't get.
Both these teams kind of traditional. You have the taller blocker, even though Brandie Wilkerson is a bit undersized, but full-time at the net. And then the defenders, Melissa Humana-Paredes just serving the ball now, and Kristen Nuss on the receiving end. Kristen Nuss, a bit of a specialty, only 5'6" tall, but hasn't slowed her down a bit. We call her the surgeon. She can hit about every single shot on the court.
Yeah, she's speedy in the backcourt, just generates tons of opportunities to score, and then you mentioned it's surgical in her shots.
Here comes Nuss. Good look at it. That might have been just an inch long. She can't believe she missed it.
Ooh, the health insurance premium a little late this month. It was just long.
Melissa Humana-Paredes from Toronto, Ontario. She serves Nuss, and Nuss with a rainbow shot to the corner, but it doesn't faze Melissa Humana-Paredes at all as she puts that away. And now it's time to go down to the third member of our broadcast team, and that's Casey Patterson.
Hi guys, the energy down here is insane. We just opened up, teams were announced, everyone has flashlights, they're going crazy, the DJ's on fire. The energy down here on the sand is incredible. Sarah and Melissa are getting after it. It's really exciting. I'm really happy and stoked for these two teams to line up, because I didn't get to go to the Olympics, but if you are in Austin, you get a chance to be as if you're in Paris right now, so I'm fired up.
Who better to bring the fire and show the fire of the crowd than Casey Patterson, a crowd pleaser himself.
The crowd's incredible, the energy's incredible. Casey's hair, incredible.
It really is. Some of the best hair on the beach. And there's an option, a little bit of a reverse option. You rarely see Humana-Paredes going for the option, but Brandie Wilkerson put it up for her. There's a good look at Brandie Wilkerson, 32 years of age, originally out of Lausanne, Switzerland, 5'10", and known around the world as one of the best blockers of all time.
Yeah, I think the list of passports she doesn't have shorter than the list that she does.
So you see the C that Brandie Wilkerson put up. That's to challenge the call. I believe the call was in, and Brandie believes it was out of bounds. So they'll take a look at it, as the Palm Beach Passion have gotten out to a quick 5-2 lead.
Yeah, we missed the dialogue there. Ooh, yeah, so that did catch some sideline. You can see a great replay by our crew. I think what happened is John King up on the stand overruled the initial call, so he's not going to get down and challenge himself.
Got it. There's Nuss. She's going to have an opportunity to put it away, and rarely does she miss the court. An unforced error. So 2 hitting errors already by Nuss. We don't usually see that. She's, I guess, trying to calibrate that arm.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of mistakes from the team of TKN there, Taryn and Kristen, but sometimes we do see this pattern in their matches where they're a little bit slow out of the gates, and then they kind of work their way in.
Great hit right there, the retreating blocker.
Yeah, that's a fantastic swing, falling away from the net. Not easy to do at 5'6", but she has tremendous skill. Just finding the middle of the defense there.
Back to serve is Taryn Kloth, 27 years of age, out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 6'4", played her college ball indoor at Creighton, then played beach volleyball at LSU, Louisiana State University.
Yeah, the Olympic silver medal is really rolling right now, firing on all cylinders. Mel smooth offensively.
Brandie back to serve.
Palm Beach Passion up 7-3 over the Aces. When one team gets to 8, we'll have a side switch. And it looks like the Passion, just like that, out to a very quick lead over the Austin Aces. 8-3 here in set number 1. Can the Aces turn it around? The AVP League is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP. Back here in Austin, 8-3, the Palm Beach Passion. We've switched sides. And Brandie Wilkerson, newly crowned silver medalist in the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. And there's a roll shot, almost done in the backcourt by Humana-Paredes.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be a perfect shot right there, and it was from Taryn Kloth. The only reason it went down because Brandie Wilkerson kind of delaying her jump, reading shot. Mel got a good break on it defensively, but you know, sometimes you do everything right and you still don't find success defensively.
Nuss with a nice short serve, and wow, Brandie Wilkerson looked like she must have taken her eye off the ball at the last second. It's just like, you know, when you have that end zone catch and then you take your eyes off it and it just falls out of your hands. That happens every once in a while.
Yeah, you sense Ronnie Lott coming at you over the middle and you lose sight of things.
5-8 make it. Now 9-5. Palm Beach Passion coming out with a bit of a spark here. As Humana-Paredes going back to serve. She's 5'9". Interesting thing, not only Humana-Paredes went to York University, but she was partnered up, teammates with Brandie Wilkerson. As they click on all cylinders and put that away. They have just great chemistry, and that's the reason why I played collegiate volleyball indoor together.
Yeah, I think these two teams, both of them are just kind of a hallmark for what chemistry should be in a beach volleyball pairing. They both get along so well. They both just have this positive energy on the court that I think lifts up their collective games.
Over on 2 by Taryn Kloth. Really smart play right there. That option play that Kloth has really relieves a lot of the pressure off of Nuss because she's usually the target of choice by her opponents.
Yeah, she is, but you know, I mean, that option play is predicated on the tremendous ball control of Kristen Nuss, so a lot of credit goes her way for those option plays as well.
Rip of a jump serve by Kloth. And high off the block is Brandie Wilkerson. Brandie Wilkerson and Melissa Humana-Paredes had a rough time in pool play in Paris, were the lucky loser, bounced all the way back, made it to the finals of the Olympic Games, and then it ended up losing to Brazil. Traditional top spin serve by Wilkerson. She runs to the net as a full-time blocker, and that ball is hit out of bounds by Kristen Nuss. So an uncharacteristic first set, I would say. Sometimes you don't see 3 or 4 errors from Kristen Nuss an entire match, much less in a set.
You know, certainly, you know, what happens to the best of them, they say, and you know, you mentioned she may be trying to calibrate. Probably not enough time in this first set, but it is win 2 out of 3.
Fans having a great time. Casey Patterson, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm down here, front row. I'm with some hardcore fans. Who are you girls cheering for?
TK!
All right, girls, what do you think so far? What do you think of your team?
Yes, I think they're making the right shots. Early platforms.
Oh, early platforms and the right shots. You guys, can you coach me? I wish I had you guys when I was playing. I would have played a couple years longer.
They taught us today at the clinic.
Oh, they taught you today at the clinic. So you guys are fresh off being with your team. I love it. I love it. Hey, I think that all your fire is going to fuel them to this win, so I need it to be louder. Show me a little example. A little example.
We got you.
Casey.
I'm back.
Casey's right at home right there, just doing his thing. Gotta love those young players. Not only are they here watching their heroes, but they got to play in a clinic earlier today. They got the TKN shirts. That's the Taryn, Kloth, Kristen Nuss kind of crossover. They created that brand of TKN, and the kids loving it.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was more excited there, the kids or Casey Patterson. But I do like the post-clinic glow where they think their team's making the right shots, even in a 6-point hole. But no doubt that will be the case at some point here in this match.
Tough serve right there by Wilkerson. Here comes Nuss, and now she hones it in and puts that ball away. But a lot of the damage has been done. The Passion up 12-7. The last 3 meetings between these teams, the Huntington Finals, the Olympics, and the Chicago Finals, those both heritage events, Brandie and Mel victorious in all 3 of them. So right now, you got to think the team TKN really wants to kind of get over the hump here and break this three match winning streak that Melissa.
Well, it's interesting, you know, all sports, I suppose, but particularly beach volleyball is a game of matchups. And I think this is a matchup that favors Mel and Brandie in the sense that Brandie Wilkerson, probably the most physical blocker in all of the world. And so that makes it a little bit more difficult for the surgeon and Kristen Nuss to navigate around the big block.
Yeah. You're right, and Brandie being 5'10" and having a huge vertical lead, she jumps, and sometimes you don't know where she's taking away.
Right.
And that can play tricks on you. Here comes Nuss again. And this one about 3 feet long. It's just one of those sets right there. And just like that, 15-7. I told you it was quick. It comes, it goes, just like that in the Passion with a very quick win. Austin Ace is gonna talk this over, see if they can kind of turn it around, maybe get a win in set number 2.
How about a little magic, huh?
Yeah, baby, that is right. It is time. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be happier to be right here, right now. We're in Austin, Dallas, Texas, for San Diego. Get involved and have a reaction out here.
Welcome back to Austin, Texas, week number 4 of the AVP League. There you see the Austin Aces, low percentage, .077. The Palm Beach Passion hitting 700, Rich Lamborg. That first set, completely dominant by the Passion.
Yeah, that's a winning combination when there's that much disparity in the hitting percentage. But one thing we know about the Aces and Taryn and Kristen, they are composed beyond their years, so to speak, right? They've been in every big situation you can be in the sport already at just 26, 27 years of age. So they're not shaken, but do they have an answer for what the Palm Beach Passion are doing? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, you're absolutely right. Earlier we talked about the chemistry between Brandie and Melissa. The chemistry between Nuss and Kloth is off the charts. Remember, they played together their senior season at LSU and they went undefeated. Then they came out, played in their first AVP event in Atlanta and won it. And so they've really taken the tour by storm. And they are so fun to watch. They have such a big following. It's just awesome to see.
Yeah, going into the Olympic Games, number 2 ranked team in the world, Brandie and Mel, number 4.
Brandie decides to go right at Nuss, gets the point right there, and looks like they're starting off right where they finished the last set.
Yeah, what I like out of the Palm Beach Passion is there's no indecision. Everything is really proactive, really aggressive on their side, and it's serving them very well thus far.
Here's Melissa Humana-Paredes. Continuing to go to Nuss. What an up by Wilkerson, keeping it alive. But Taryn Kloth says, let me put an end to this nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, Taryn puts the stamp on it, but the athleticism in this move right here, tremendous. Unbelievable reaction, and yeah, just to keep it alive, force a couple extra contacts out of TKN and the Austin Aces.
Kristen Nuss has a really effective serve there. She goes to Humana-Paredes, and Paredes making it look easy. Sometimes teams just get into this mode where if you're not serving them tough, they're just going to side out at will and continue it.
Yeah, if you can't throw any little hiccup in the service reception game of Brandie and Mel, it's going to be a long night.
Here comes Brandie Wilkerson. Runs to the net. That ball funneled right to Humana-Paredes. And wow, slicing and dicing is Humana-Paredes to perfection.
Yeah, the late run into the angle defensively, beautifully timed by Humana-Paredes. If you're Taryn Kloth, you hit that cut shot and it looks like wide open sand, and then all of a sudden, Mel just zooms in there.
Brandie Wilkerson, she'll continue to serve. And the trickler, and yes, it hits the line. Very fortunate there. Look at this.
That is called untouchable. I think it cut one fiber on the outside of the line, Dane.
Yeah, not a lot you can do on that one. So make it 4-1 here in the second set. Kristen Nuss going cross court, trying to get and find her groove.
That maybe looked like just kind of a standard side out, but that was fantastic. That serve after the AAA short, that serve went deep. Kristen passed it perfectly and finds the deep corner offensively. Great stuff.
Nice serve by Kloth. Passion in trouble. They have to free ball it over. Nuss tries the jumbo, but Wilkerson got a piece of it. And just like that, they turn the tide. Looked like Kloth and Nuss had the upper hand, but just like that, Wilkerson got a hand on it.
Well, like Mel didn't just give an easy free ball. She went short, forced a little bit of scramble from the Austin Aces, and then Brandie's able to get that good touch, the put away by Mel. Just again, Palm Beach Passion doing everything right here, getting the bounces, but they're really creating their own good fortune.
Melissa Humana-Paredes back to serve. Her father was a coach, Hernan, coached the 1996 Canadian men's team to a bronze medal. So she grew up around beach volleyball and has fulfilled her Olympic dream.
Yeah, she outpipped Dad by one, huh? He got the bronze, she got the silver. So bragging rights in the Humana-Paredes household belong with Mel.
Nice float serve by Nuss. And great roll shot. Just the rotation on the ball. How important is that not to hit the flat ball, but to have a nice rotation?
Yeah, it's kind of indicative of how much control you have, right? The more RPMs, the more clean the contact has to be, right? So when you see that crisply struck ball, it really has that nice rotation that you're talking about.
Across the court, but a net violation on Brandie Wilkerson.
Sometimes little things like that can be sparks when everything seems to be going against you. You get one little break, because Mel was all over that swing as well. See if the Austin Aces can use it to their advantage.
Taryn Kloth gonna rip a jump serve. That ball might be passed too tight, and it is, so give credit to Taryn Kloth, taking it into her own hands to turn up the heat.
Yeah, she put some extra oomph behind that serve, Dane. Interesting. Passion are gonna call a timeout. Kind of early, they're in the lead. You don't often see that.
Let's head down to the sand to Casey Patterson. I think he's with the Thin Beast.
Yeah, we're down here. We're down here. Down here with Phil. So far, girls came out super hot. Brandie and Cedar, they're just scooping, playing real well. What are your predictions so far going into this first game?
Well, Palm Beach Passion's taking it down for sure. They've beaten TKN the last few times. They beat him in Paris, and I expect them to beat him again tonight.
I love it. Dropping the silver medal, just bomb. Hopefully they have it with them in their bag. I asked them, I was like, hey, do you always bring it with you? Because you probably don't bring your gold medal everywhere. But I'm like, listen, maybe you get a tattoo.
Still new, so I kept it close when it was new, but not anymore. Man, it was 16 years ago. It was a while, you know.
I love it. Yeah, so great start. They're flying around. Melissa's just flying. Brandie's blocking everything. Kind of similar to your style, just getting up and stuffing balls. This sand's real good for big blockers to get up and really seal the net. As far as like practicing, how did you feel when you're practicing on the sand? What do you think of it?
Well, we hit it around a little bit this morning, and it was definitely hard-packed, which changes the game. It's quicker, there's more power, and it's more of a blocker versus hitter game, right? Like you said. But there's a couple digs here and there, just like we're seeing right now. But yeah, it's more of course, a power game.
Yeah, I love it. I love how you also change the tone of your voice when the music's on and off. That was such a veteran move. All right, back to you guys.
Good stuff, Casey. Not easy to get the thin beast to chat it up.
Perfect combination down there, Casey and Phil.
I think as his career's gone, he's a little more apt to stop and tell you some strategy here and then, and he's all about giving back. That's the cool thing about Phil. Just a class act from start to finish.
Absolutely. In Chicago at our Heritage event, I had the pleasure of having dinner with him, and it was probably one of the greatest nights of my life, just listening to the stories from the Thin Beast.
Humana-Paredes, she's on it, and she tools the block out of bounds, so make it 8-6, just like that. So Palm Beach Passion, 2-point lead. Aces trying to turn it around.
Yeah, baby, that is right. It is time. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be happier to be right here, right now.
We're in Austin, Dallas, Texas.
For San Diego.
Gonna have a reaction out here.
8-6, the Passion over the Aces. We're in set number 2. It was the Passion who took number 1 set, 15-7. As we get set and started here. Seems like Nuss and Kloth trying to find their rhythm. There's a nice little quick set, and used out of bounds is Wilkerson. Smart play by Nuss.
Yeah, I like mixing it up. Brandie's got a pretty good beat on her right now. Kristen Nuss having a little bit of trouble in her side-out game, so mix it up. Don't always throw the same look at a block and defense.
Kristen Nuss, float serve over to Humana-Paredes. Nice drop dig by Kloth. High to the corner, and Humana-Paredes can't run it down. Shot is just too good.
Yeah, starting to find a little bit of rhythm are the Austin Aces. That set got a little bit off the net. Taryn makes a great read, pulls, gets that wonderful control dig, and then the perfect line shot. Starting to find a little bit of rhythm.
Oh, a trickler, and that's the magician that Nuss is. She can turn it on and make it happen. First Austin lead of the match right here at 9-8 here in the second set. So maybe getting the lead will get them over that hump. Oh, and I think she's going for the trickler.
If she was going for that, that was very impressive. I don't even know if that other one was a trickler. It might have been a crawler. It hit middle of the net and just crawled its way over. But yeah, they've certainly found a little bit of an extra gear. But the Palm Beach Passion, by no means playing poorly. So it's a long ways from over, you would think.
And that serve out by Wilkerson, trying to keep the heat on them, but you can just kind of feel that the momentum has shifted a little bit over to the Austin Aces.
Yeah, it is interesting how when kind of everything's going your way, the moment you get a little bit of resistance, it's sort of tough to maintain at times.
7-3 run for the Aces. Make it 8-3 with an ace right down the middle by Kloth.
Yeah, and that's the big weapon that the Austin Aces have been using to get themselves in front by 2 here. It's been this serve of Taryn Kloth. Perfect placement, good pace.
Yeah, that serves so fast. If you don't get your arms in position in time, it's just too late. That ball's going off the back of the court. So Kloth going to try to manufacture another ace here. Tough serve down the middle. Passed well by Wilkerson, and there is Nuss. And the put away. Kristen Nuss is everywhere.
And this hometown crowd is loving this right now. As soon as Casey Patterson talked to the girls from the clinic, things change for the Austin Aces, and they are rolling right now.
I think you're right. Just never know what'll turn the tides here, as Kloth has built a 3-point lead for her team, the Aces, and that's going to be an overpass. So Kloth will have an opportunity again to score down the line, and it hits the outside of the line. I think Humana-Paredes made a conscious choice to let that ball go.
Yeah, I think she knew it was going to be tough to run down. Just kind of hoped it was wide. She was still a ways away from it, but that is perfection.
God, I thought she was a lot closer than that. That was a very good shot. Austin on a 10-3 run right now. This is unheard of. Up by 4. Oh, absolutely froze Wilkerson.
Well, I think this entire arena was holding its breath temporarily while that ball was in the air. It felt like that was going to find some sideline, and it very nearly did.
Nice pass by Nuss. Great dig, but it's not enough right there as the Austin Aces go to 14. So they have set point to tie things up and force this match to a 3rd set.
Now, you talked about the run there on Palm Beach Passion. We're up 6-3 when that run by the Austin Aces started, and it felt like this was going to be a quick match. And not the case.
Too tight. Yeah. And Taryn Kloth with a pokey back to the corner. And that, Matt, that set went very quickly.
Well, yeah, that 12-4 run, as it turns out, closed it out for the Aces. And we talked about their composure, right? They kind of took a beating, didn't really have their A game in set number 1. And they came all the way back, even facing a little bit of a deficit early set 2, and found their way into this 3rd and decisive set.
So they're going to flip the coin to see who gets the choice in the 3rd set. The Aces seem like they have the momentum. We'll be right back.
How about a little magic, huh?
Yeah, baby, that is right. It is time. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be happier to be right here, right now.
We're in Austin, Dallas, Texas.
For San Diego.
Get involved and have a reaction out here.
Well, the volume got turned up here at the AGB Center here in Austin, and it's because the Aces battling it with the passion. As we take a look at the statistics here, it's the passion hitting 545 in that one, but somehow the Aces, they won the set.
Well, what we have to look at, though, is the Palm Beach Passion started at 700, so they dipped a little bit, and we remember the Aces were at 077, so a big step up from them.
Big turnaround right there. It looked like the Passion were going to run this thing, but it was the Aces that got the momentum, and they did it by making their own luck, right? They started to press. They started to really be more assertive, more aggressive. Kloth was ripping that serve, and the Passion did not have an answer in that second set. The question is, will they have it here in the third? And Wilkerson starts that off, but just to say how crazy that last set was, Palm Beach led 6-3, and then the Austin Aces went on a 12-4 run to close out the set and tie it up and force this third. High shot, and that's the Kristen Nuss that we know.
That is the Kristen Nuss that we know. This, as you mentioned, was kind of the linchpin in that second set. This serve of Taryn Kloth, that's really what got them rolling. And they would love for her to still be able to find that range from the end line here in the third.
Nice serve again. Brandie's gonna go on two. Look how controlled that was by Nuss, and she'll convert it into a point right away.
Yeah, I love the aggressiveness from the Palm Beach Passion, just taking that jump serve, going with their option play. But how about that? I mean, that dig on a hard-driven ball came out cleaner than any ball I've ever set.
It was just textbook defense for overhand. I mean, she just caught the driven ball and said, let's go.
Let's go.
2-1. Aces with an early lead. And as we've seen, no lead is safe. A little inside out by Taryn Kloth, and she's just dialing it up.
Yeah, she's just been kind of working the middle part of the court. So Mel, I think maybe not expecting this. And then, of course, alongside that, perfect placement in the corner by Taryn Kloth.
Here comes Taryn Kloth again out of the middle, bombing once again. Wilkerson's able to pass it, and a beautiful inside-out rotation shot to put it to the sand.
Yeah, that was a very, very good shot and a very, very good pass as well on another great jump serve from Taryn Kloth. It's got to feel like a relief every time you see anyone but her back at the end line.
Dialed in is Taryn Kloth. Wilkerson back to serve, trying to get a little magic going of her own. Here comes Kloth. Cross court, making it look easy. Kloth loves that angle shot. It is so hard to get a hand on it at 6'4".
Yeah, well, she creates such a great angle, such great trajectory, and that really sets up all her other shots. Her loopy line shot, all of that stuff starts with that one right there.
Kristen Nuss, standing float serve. Don't see that often. And Humana-Paredes handles it well. I like them. They're giving different looks, right? Standing float coming from Nuss. Taryn Kloth ripping the powerful topspin jump serve. And that makes the defense constantly guess.
Well, yeah, it absolutely does. And it's so hard as a receiver to see different looks all the time. You never feel like you're comfortable.
Beautiful pass. Look at the back set. And they're just throwing all sorts of misdirection, right? You go the back set, then she goes with the cutty cross court. If you're a defender, you're running back and forth.
Yeah, and they've certainly settled into a level of comfort in their offensive game. Particularly, we saw those sort of uncharacteristic hitting mistakes from Kristen in the first. You expected that to not continue, and certainly it hasn't. She's pretty dialed right now.
Here comes Kloth, trying to get another serving run going. Beautiful pass, set is there. And a high elbow put away right there by Wilkerson.
A little bit of a copy-paste from the last time Taryn Kloth was back at the end line. Great serve, really, really good pass, and a good cut shot from Brandie Wilkerson.
Wilkerson has worked on that jump serve. Kind of changed it up after the Tokyo Olympics. And now gets a lot more rotation on it and seems to be way more consistent As is her entire game. She's made such massive improvement over the last 4 years.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of figuring out how to utilize her impressive physicality.
Perfect pass by Humana-Paredes. Ball's still alive. Wilkerson's going to go in 2. And somehow Nuss got this one over. Wilkerson's going to get another shot. And finally, the ball hits the sand. What spectacular defense by Kristen Nuss.
And you got to be asking yourself, if you're the Passion, what do we have to do to get the ball on the sand against this duo from Austin?
Just some incredible plays, laying it out like it's match point.
Yeah, fantastic swing from Brandie. I mean, a great read again from Kristen Nuss, but the trajectory too strong. Palm Beach. Great point.
Love that effort. Here comes Nuss on a quick one. And looked like Wilkerson blocked that ball, and then Kloth with a quick reaction. Smart play, and look at the TKN fans. They're going crazy.
They've been the spark plug. Yeah, you called it, Dane. Brandie did get the hand all the way over, blocking that onto the side of Austin. Just an incredibly heads-up play from Taryn, though.
7-5. Aces with a 1-point lead over the Passion. Taryn Kloth has been serving up aces, and yes, there is another one. She has gotten in the heads a bit of Wilkerson and Humana-Paredes. It's the Taryn Kloth Serving Clinic. We'll be right back.
Yeah, baby, that is right. It is time. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be happier to be right here, right now.
We're in Austin, Dallas, Texas.
For San Diego.
Get involved and have a reaction out here.
Back here in Austin, an amazing matchup going on. The fans here have been amazing, but some have traveled from far and wide, maybe even Canada. Casey Patterson, what do you got?
I have the most epic boys trip ever. As of like, what, an hour ago, except for 2 of these 12 guys, they had no idea that they were gonna be here. And they planned this boys trip where they show up at an event. They're here to support their silver medalists. Half the guys didn't even know. It's incredible. You guys are just the only ones here cheering for the Canadians, right? That's right, she showed up in our +1. But so far, you boys are killing it. Keep it up. Let's see the best cheer. What's our cheer? What's our go-to?
Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada! Let's go Canada!
Love it. I'm kind of cheering for Canada now.
Good stuff, Casey Patterson. The Canadians, Brandie and Mel, are actually looking at that side of the arena. So they see the flag there. They see the fans. Can they get motivated, because they'll be on that side the entire time? So maybe some of the Casey Patterson's club over there can lift the Canadians.
Yeah, you had no one.
Well, they're going to need it right now, and that's a good start. That's a great swing from Brandie Wilkerson into the deep corner.
Brandie Wilkerson, born an athlete. Her dad, Herb Johnson Wilkerson, drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA and also played overseas quite a bit. Her mother's a distance runner. She actually has 3 passports. Born in Switzerland. Family grew up in Texas and also in Canada. So she's got it going on in terms of being a world traveler.
She's the international woman of mystery, but for the time being, they're facing a tremendous challenge in this Austin Aces team.
9-6. The Austin Aces serving Kristen Nuss. Option play. Nuss is all over that. Humana-Paredes scoops it, Oh, and that looks like an over the net from our vantage point, but no complaints.
Yeah, when the ball falls on the opponent's side for you, you complain a little bit less. But yeah, that did look a little dicey. John King determining it was fair play. Palm Beach Passion managed to come up with the point.
And Taryn Kloth, such a long reach at 6'4", can just get her hand all the way over the net. Here comes Kloth. Rolls it right to Humana-Paredes. And a pokey to the corner. And just like that, maybe a bit of a shift.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think Taryn maybe thought that Mel was going to start on the line and make a break for the angle, just stayed home, got the ball to roll right to her, and then good little bit of improv as that set got a little wider than I think she was expecting it in transition, but comes up with a great placement on the pokey.
9-8, the Austin Aces with a 1-point lead. Big cross-court hit by Taryn Kloth. And just to put it into perspective, Kloth and Nuss have lost the last 3 meetings to Brandie Wilkerson and Melissa Humana-Paredes, one of those matches being at the Paris Olympics. So there's a lot on the line. Here comes Kloth, trying to rip more jump serves, and love that she's continuing to go for it. That's what's got him to this position so far.
Yeah, I think she might be outpacing her errors with aces. I mean, she's been on fire. That's the first miss in recent memory. So I agree with you. She's got to keep going. That serve.
Oh, and Wilkerson, that one into the bottom of the net. She wishes she could have that one back for sure, making 11-9, the Aces with the lead. Kristen Nuss toes the line out of New Orleans. 7 AVP wins to her name. Defender extraordinaire, never lets that ball hit in the backcourt. And optioning her partner, how about Humana-Paredes coming up with magic and the put away.
That is tremendous execution, Dane. I mean, just the swirly bird defense from Humana-Paredes right here. Look at that. Fantastic. Brandie managing to put up an unbelievable set from her knees somehow. And then the perfect line shot. Earmark that play.
Passion 10, Aces 11. Humana-Paredes, another dig. Sets a little bit off the net. And over on one. Humana-Paredes not falling for this one. And she's able to put it away. Wow. Kristen Nuss known for that shot. Almost 99% of the time it goes down, but for some reason right there, Humana-Paredes was waiting.
Yeah, I don't think it was a terrible choice, right? I mean,
right. I think it always goes down against most defenders, right?
You just got to kind of applaud Mel right now. She is on another level defensively, really trying to dig deep, find something extra to pull her team out of a little bit of a hole here that they've been in the third set. They've leveled the score.
The Passion, the Aces absolutely battling it out. The conclusion after this break.
How about a little magic, huh?
Well, the momentum continues to swing back and forth. We are all tied up. Third set, Austin Aces versus the Palm Beach Passion. And this one probably going to go into overtime. Neither one of these teams want to drop this one. You can just tell how fired up all 4 athletes are. Humana-Paredes with the jump float.
Brandie had double 4s up there. Just what Mel was looking for right there.
is good, and the Aces taking a 1-point edge. No points being given away here. Everything is an absolute battle. You got to earn it.
I was just going to say, Dan, I love matches like this. Nothing's going down easily. Everyone grinding every single point. Takes second, third, fourth efforts just to get the ball to the sand.
Here comes Taryn Kloth. Has had a spectacular evening serving. And that ball just on the back of the line. It took the line judge a minute to process what he saw, thought about it, and then gave the call.
Yeah, we're going to have a look. That's going to be a tough angle to see it from. That looks out to me, Dane. I don't know. Hard to tell from that angle if it catches any rope.
John King, the head referee, got off the stand, went over, took a look, and he is going to, wow. He's going to determine it's an ace serve.
Oh my goodness.
It is so close.
That's close, but that sure looked long to me.
Well, instead of it being 12-12, it is 13-11 right now, the aces, so that's a crucial play. Wow, not happy about it there. Trying to hear the conversation between Brandie Wilkerson and John King, the head referee. They took their time, got off, took a look, tried to make the best call available, but it definitely wasn't in the favor of the Passion, who find themselves trailing by 2. Another good serve, passed well by Wilkerson, and a little extra pepper on that one.
Yeah, and a little extra flex in the celebration as well from Brandie. Understandably so. They certainly thought that that call was not made correctly the play before, but you got to get right back on the horse. You got to let it go in the past, and nice job sighting out right away from Brandie.
Here comes Brandie with a jump serve. Beautiful pass by Kloth. And she thunders it cross court. So Brandie went for it there, but the pass was stellar.
Yeah, great serve, better pass, and absolute annihilation in the angle from Taryn Kloth.
14-12, the Austin Aces have match point. Option play up at the net, and it is Wilkerson able to put it down, so make it 14-13, but the Aces now just have to receive serve, put it away one time to seal up the match.
They just have to do that. It's very easy to say, very difficult to do. Somehow that 15th side out always seems like the most difficult to get.
Second match point, here comes Nuss. And she catches Humana-Paredes going the other way. Wow, what a match.
Somehow gets that kind of inside out to go up and over Brandie for the winner. Unbelievable match, especially after that start by the Palm Beach Passion. A little bit of a hole for the Austin Aces. Great recovery from them.
Well, you knew that they were composed, and that's exactly what the team, the Austin Aces, showed. In the end, they turned thing around. They end it on a 4-2 run, and the Austin Aces victorious over the Passion. What an exhilarating matchup. All 4 players really going for it. A lot of history. All 4 Olympians out there. They played in the Paris Olympics. And the Aces, you know, I think they were a bit tired of losing to Wilkerson and Humana-Paredes, and they dug just a little bit deeper. Let's talk to the winners of that match, the Austin Aces. Let's go down to Mark Sherman.
Wow, 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 what a match. The Austin Aces. And what a comeback. What are you pointing at, Kristen?
That's my beach volleyball partner right there, and she's really good.
And she's avoiding the camera. Come on, Taryn, where are you? Get on in here. Oh my goodness, you took over in that match. We're not going to avoid talking about that, okay? The Aces at the net.
Aces came
out to play because of you guys. Thank you so much. I heard you guys. Yeah.
And we get to do it all again tomorrow. Listen, I know the feeling was good. Y'all even watching the boys, getting the crowd into it. They got behind you too. Kristen, talk about this crowd.
Oh my goodness, Austin, thank you guys so much. Talk about home court advantage. This is it, right here.
Well, let's do it all again, everybody. Great job by the Austin Aces crowd, the Austin Aces team. Taryn, Kristen, your winners tonight, everybody.
Wow. They were fired up. They were pumped up. The Austin Aces, they came to play. Billy Allen, Paul Latman, Taryn, Kloth, Kristen, Nuss doing their thing right there. It was awesome. And they are fan favorites. There's no question. The home team had an advantage here tonight.
They finished it in style, without a doubt, delighting everyone in attendance. Yeah, some unbelievable matches to wrap up day one of this event here in Austin.
Week number 4 here, absolutely on fire. For Mark Sherman, Casey Patterson, Rich Lamborn, I'm Dan Bland. We'll see you soon.